Okay, hello everybody, it's Jeffrey Day from Runescapefar. How you guys doing today? So today we are reacting to my emotional story about my best friend Kiyomi by Lovable Hatsune Miku. Since this is 52 minutes long, she did give me an okay permission to only film half of it, so we're going to do about 25 minutes of it. So let's begin.
Hello everybody, this is Lovable Hatsune Miku, and today I want to tell you guys a story. It's a story about my best friend, and her name was Kiyomi, and the reason why I'm making this video is because it's important for you guys to know like what's happened in my life. And like if I'm doing a video, I'll probably talk about Kiyomi, and you guys would probably be like, who the heck is Kiyomi? So I'm going to tell you a story about who she was and what she meant to me. I'm already trying not to cry because it's a tough story for me to tell because it's affected my life a lot. It's a happy story and a sad story at the same time, but I want to tell you guys the story of what happens. Okay, so today is March 22nd, which is today. Today is the day that me and Kiyomi met. So I wanted to make this video on the day that we met so I can remember it. Even though I'm probably gonna cry a lot in this video. Okay, so like back in 2015 on Google Plus, I think it was like right after March break, I was like posting Sonic the Hedgehog stuff, and I don't know, I posted a picture of Silver the Hedgehog looking cool and stuff, and she commented on my post, and she said, oh, that's cool, and I replied, I was like, oh, thank you, you like Sonic too? And she was like, yeah. So we struck up a nice little conversation. And I noticed that we had a lot in common. Like, she liked a lot of things that I really loved, and she seemed really nice. So the next day she texted me in the morning, and I was like, oh my god, you actually texted me. I didn't think we would actually talk. And so we talked, and from that day on we talked every single day. We were always talking day and night, 24/7. Like, I can't remember a day where there were a few days when we couldn't talk because she was busy, but it wasn't that often. But Kiyomi liked a lot of things. Like, first of all, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to tell this story. Because every time I tell this story, I cry, because later on I'll tell you why it makes me cry. Kiyomi was Japanese. She had a lot of brothers and sisters. I think she had like 2 brothers and maybe 3 sisters. I can't remember. It's been a while. So she told me about how she misses Japan, and I was like, oh yeah, I can understand that, because, you know, I'm Ukrainian. I'm from Ukraine, but I was adopted. I'll tell you that, like, in another video. So I was like, oh yeah, I know what it's like to, like, miss home and stuff like that. Like, your country. Like, if you're from another country and you move. I know what it's like. I think she liked Pretty Cure. It's an anime that I watch. It's like from my childhood. Like, when I was little, like at the age of 10, I was always watching like I can't even say it. I was always watching Pretty Cure at the age of 10 because that was like my childhood. Because, I don't know, I liked magical girls at the time. Like, I was very young, I was 10. And when I told my friends about it, they were like, Pretty Cure, and they were like kind of making fun of me for liking the show. And it sucked because I really wanted someone to play it with me, like, you know, recess, like pretend play. And sometimes my brother would play, like he would pretend to be the teacher, and I would be like, what was her name? Can't remember. It's been a while. But most of the time I played Pretty Cure by myself. Like, I would act all the characters. It sucked. I didn't really like doing it by myself because I was like, what kind of friends are you? Like, I do a lot of things you like. Anyways, let's stop talking about Pretty Cure. But she liked, like, Sonic the Hedgehog, MLP, Pretty Cure, anime. She loved animals a lot. That's why she really loved animals. Like, she was such an animal lover. She told me a lot of funny dreams about her dog. Like, one time she told me a dream about her dog going to KFC, and I was, like, dancing on the tables or something like that. Like every morning, like, when I had to go to school, this was, like, back in grade 9, I think. I would always, like, send her a little text message saying, have a good day, like, you're beautiful, I love you so much. Like, we would tell each other every day, like, we love each other. In the morning, at night, when she was feeling down. And sometimes, like, she would, like, text me, like, right before she would have to catch the bus. She was like, yeah, I love you too, and stuff. I felt really loved. Like, I just remember being at school so much, like, I just remembered I hated being there so much. I was like, oh my god, I hate being here. I want to go home. I want to talk to my Kiyomi. I was like, don't talk to me. Oh my god, it felt like forever. Like, I just wanted to go home and text Kiyomi so bad. Like, I think she came home around, like, 4, because in high school you get out earlier, so I kind of had to wait a little bit when I came home. But when she would text me, I would, like, jump out of my seat. I would be like, yeah, Kiyomi, oh my god, like, texting her, saying, I missed you so much, and how was your day? And sometimes she had good days, and sometimes she had bad days, but it was okay. I would, like, give her advice if she had a bad day. Kiyomi was really popular at school. Like, she told me how popular she was, like, with all the boys and stuff, how many boys had crushes on her. And I was like, just stay away from them and stuff, because you're too young to have a boyfriend. Well, actually, she did have a boyfriend, but he was a very nice guy. But Kiyomi's ex-best friend they kind of split up because the way her ex-best friend treated her, she treated her like garbage. Like, she would beat her up, like, literally, like, physically punch her and beat the tartar sauce out of her. Like, Kiyomi would tell me this, and I was like, what kind of friend do you have? And I just remember Kiyomi telling me the pretty scary stuff that's happened to her. And her dad was a police officer, so I was like, why isn't your dad doing anything about it? I can't remember why. But anyways. Yeah, her ex-best friend was such a B-word. Oh my god, don't even get me started on her. I'm not going to say her name because it's not my personal, like, right to say someone else's name without their permission. Even though I kind of want to say her name because she pisses me off so much. But it's not about her, it's about Kiyomi. So I just remember, like, when she was going to town, I would miss her. Like, I would miss her a lot. Like, you know, because I worried about her. I don't know. I was always clingy. I was like, please don't leave me. I would always cry when she would leave. Because I missed her. I didn't want her to go. Because sometimes we would just have a lot of short times together. Like, one time, she didn't reply. And I was like, okay, maybe she's busy. But it ended up being 5 weeks that she wasn't online or texting me. And of course I was really worried. I was, like, crying every day. I was texting her. Even my mom was concerned. She would ask me, like, did your friend text you back? And I said no. It was tough because I was at school. And I didn't want it to affect me at school at the time because I don't like crying in class. But I always had my device with me, like 24/7. Like I was checking it every second to see if she texted me back. And I would like ask people on Google Plus saying, "Have you seen Kiyomi?" Even if I didn't know the person, I would ask like 1,000 people, like, "Where is my Kiyomi?" Because I missed her. I wanted to know what happened to her. And I think on Father's Day it was, or I remember I was in the car, like we were driving back from my grandma's house. I was in the car and I was watching a McJuggers video. It was the one where he's like digging for his games in that video, like in the Psycho series. And I remember I checked my notifications on Google Plus and I saw Kiyomi, like her account, and I was like, holy cow! I was like so happy. I was like crying tears of joy. And I texted her. I was like, "Where have you been? I was so worried." And she said that her device broke and it wasn't working, so she got a new device. I was like, "Oh, okay," because I don't know. I was really worried. Oh my god, I was just so happy. But before that happened, one day at school, like in the morning, I was waiting for my bus, and it was raining. I was standing at the bus stop with my brother and some other people, and our bus was like half an hour late. So we figured, okay, we're just gonna go home because it was like pouring rain. It was freezing cold. So me and my brother walked all the way back up the hill. And when I got home, I texted my friend saying, "Hey, we don't have to go to school today. Let's talk." But I got a text message I didn't ever think I would actually get from her. And if you're watching this, please don't like judge me for telling everyone this. Like it's my story. I have to tell people what happened. I just remember this was like a year ago, like back in 2015, I think. It was a long time ago. So I just remember getting a text message saying, "I don't want to be your friend anymore." And I was like, "What?" I was like so confused. And she texted me saying, "I'm sick of you ignoring me at lunch and stuff. I'm sick of this. I don't want to be your friend. This friendship is through." And she never texted back. And I was like in shock because I didn't know what the heck happened. I was like, "What the heck? You were like so happy yesterday and now you're just like, screw you." And because when I was at school, I was like when Kiyomi was gone, it was getting to me because it was so hard for me to stay positive because your friend is gone and you don't know where they are. You haven't heard from them in 5 weeks. Of course you're going to be sad at school, and of course you're going to not. Okay, I do blame myself because I didn't really tell my friends because I didn't know how to. I was like, "Hey, my other friend, I haven't heard from her in 5 weeks. I'm going to be sad and not talk to you." Like, I did my best to talk to my friends, but I don't know. It wasn't enough for them. So after that, I just remember. Sorry, it's tough for me to talk. After that, I just remember sitting in a chair, crying my eyes out. I was so heartbroken. I didn't know what happened. I was like, okay, my best friend doesn't like me anymore, and my other friend is missing. Like, I don't know what happened to her. Like, it was all happening at once, and it was just too much for me at the time. I just remember calling my mom saying, "My friend doesn't like me anymore." I was just crying on the phone so much, and my mom felt so sorry for me because she knows I didn't do anything bad. It hurts me to this day just thinking about it because I didn't deserve it. Like to have your best friend text you that, like saying we're through because you're depressed, that's just wrong. Who does that? You're not supposed to ditch your friend because they're sad. You're supposed to help them.
Now, I have seen so many people like this on social media. They claim to be your friend, and when they're upset, they're depressed, you're always there for you. But when you're sad and depressed and want some advice from them, They either just block you, call you faking it, or they even go to the extra length to tell you to just get over it after you've helped them with their depressions and stuff. And this really does show people's true colors here. When you're the one having the breakdown for once, and who actually comes to your side out of all the people you've helped, and the people who actually do come to your side, those are your true friends. Focus on those people. The people who just ignore the post, they block you, they never were your friends. So remember that, people. But I do remember this whole incident here that she's describing in this video, and I was one of the people who tried to help cheer her up a lot. This was, of course, well before, like she said, 2015, so before I even started doing reaction videos on her videos, and I knew how much this person meant to her, and for her to this person to say that to her, her emotions really are legitimate here, people. She is not faking those tears. She is really crying. This really did upset her. Like I said in my top 5 video of Lovable Hatsune Miku, and why she's so awesome is because she is a caring person. She cares about you unconditionally, meaning that you don't have to be her best friend or even her friend for her to care about you or show sympathy for you. You don't have to buy her nice things, watch her videos, compliment her, or anything. If she sees you're upset or sad, she'll talk to you and try to cheer you up. Just because you are a sad person, not because it makes her look better, but because you're a sad person and she wants to cheer you up. So this is definitely a genuine reaction.
Freaking tell them to piss off because they miss someone. I'm choking up. I apologize. So yeah, when Kiyomi came back, I was like so happy, and at the time I changed my name because the device I was using, like the little plug-in thing, broke, so my brother gave me his device and I had to get like a new account and stuff. So the way Kiyomi found me was through the people I told. Like they were like, "Oh yeah, your friend," because at the time my name was Princess Rin, and I changed my account name to like Princess Mikuna, the Princess of, no, I think it was Mikuna, the Princess of Kindness. That was my other account name, like my name one. So that's how she found me, and we were reunited. I was so happy. I was just really happy to be with her again. But sadly, like, by the time we got home, she was like, "I'm sorry, I have to go. We're going to see a movie." And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so happy you're here and everything." And I was like, "Go have fun. I don't, you know, just go have fun. All that matters is that we're reunited again." And from that day on, like, I was always happy when I woke up. Like every day, it felt like winning the lottery. Like, when Kiyomi was in my life, I was always happy. I didn't care what happened to me, no matter how bad the situation was. I just brushed it off like it was nothing, because I had Kiyomi. And, well, when my friend, like, said, "I don't want to be your friend anymore," I did get over it, like, after 11 minutes later of crying, because I was like, screw her, I have Kiyomi. Like, that's not, just because she's, like, saying I don't want to be your friend anymore, like, that's not gonna, I'm not gonna cry over that for the rest of my life. Like, jeez. Because I had Kiyomi, because she's a true friend, and she would, like, never abandon me. Like, even she would say, like, a friend shouldn't do that. I was like, "You're absolutely right." I just remember one time, like, when I was tree planting, I just thought of Kiyomi the whole time, like, oh my goodness. And I was, like, listening to Apples to the Core from MLP, because I was, like, so addicted to that song at the time. And I just remember listening to that song on the way home. Like, we were tree planting for 4 hours, I think, and we planted, like, 300 or 200 trees that day. I was pretty tired, so I was, like, pretty happy to go home, just listening to my MLP music, listening to Apples to the Core. And I just remember thinking of Kiyomi. Like, it just got my, like, it made me feel good, like, doing it. I was like, yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm gonna see Kiyomi after this. Tree planting. really love tree planting. It's really good actually. It's like good. It's like good for you actually. I'm actually gonna do some more tree planting later on in the summer, I think. Cause I've done tree planting twice now, so I would like to do it a third time for like community service hours because it's fun. I do suggest that you do tree planting for community service hours because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it's worth it. You get pizza. Oh, my face looks kind of red all the same. Whatever. It was funny because I think Kiyomi was doing some sort of tree planting that day too, so I find it funny. Plus, a lot of the times, like, I would like go to this restaurant called the Mandarin, and sometimes we would go to restaurants at the same time or the same day. It was funny. We had like so much in common. Like, she would go to a Japanese restaurant, like understandable. She was Japanese, so I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I would go to a Chinese restaurant called the Mandarin. I love that restaurant. So yeah, sometimes I would get home before her, she would get home before me. Sometimes we would get home at the same time. It was funny. And sometimes I would like sing her lullabies to sleep, like not sing but text it to her, because I just remember she told me once that people were making fun of her at school. So I would like make up a little song saying like, you're loved by everyone, don't let anyone tell you that you're not loved. And I was like, can you tell your sister to like sing that song to you and stuff? And she was like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. She was such a cheerful little girl. Her account name was Cheerful Miku. It was a very cute account. And I think I changed my name to Applejack, and she changed hers to Rainbow Dash. Oh my god, I called her my sugar cube and she would call me her cupcake. Like, we gave each other like nicknames. We would always call each other that. Like, even if I was getting bullied on Google Plus, she would like stand up, like stand by my side, say leave her alone, and she would get really mad. Like, that was the only time I saw Kiyomi get mad, was if someone was making fun of me. And oh my god, I was so protective over her. Like, if she was talking to a boy, I would be like, you back off, don't go near my Kiyomi. Or any guy really, I was like, stay away from her. I was like so protective. I was like, no boys, no dating, don't do this, don't talk to other people. Cause I don't know, I was always watching. I'm the protective one, like the really protective one. People called me her mama bear. I guess I kind of was like a mom figure to her in a lot of ways, because oh yeah, her mom said that she was really grateful that like she had me in her life, and I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, I was welcomed into the family. Her family is so nice. She had a really loving family. Yeah, such a horrible life with her ex-best friend. I felt so bad for her because she was always getting beat up. Like, sometimes we would send each other videos and stuff, like to make ourselves laugh and stuff. We would tell each other a lot of things that we could never tell other people, like secrets. I would give her advice on stuff. But I always thought our friendship would last forever, but unfortunately, it couldn't be like that. On October 4th, 2015, I got a text message from her sister, and she said, I have some bad news. And I was like, what? And I remember my heart was racing, and she texted me. She said Kiyomi died, and I just remember, like, my heart stopped. I was just in shock. I was crying so much. I just broke down crying. It was like so much shock for me. I was like, what? What do you mean Kiyomi's dead? Like before that text message, like Sophia beat her up somewhere and she had to go to the hospital. Like, she was in the hospital for a few weeks, and then her sister was texting me saying Kiyomi might not live, and then a few weeks later she got out of the hospital. She was fine, and then I don't know what happened. Like, she just wasn't feeling good, and they took her to the hospital, and she died in the morning. And they told me this at like nighttime, like 8 o'clock or something, or 7, because they couldn't get her device to work or something. So yeah, I was in shock. I was crying my eyes out. I was like saying to myself, please don't be real. Like, this can't be happening. It's just a dream. But it wasn't a dream. I just remember picking up like my water bottle, and I just remember throwing it at the wall. I was so mad. And my mom came home from going into town with her friend, and she saw me like crying on the couch, and she said, what's wrong? And I said, Kiyomi's dead. And my mom was like, what? And I showed her the text message. And my mom was just hugging me, saying it was gonna be okay and stuff. And I was like, oh my god. And I had school the next day because it was on a Sunday. I was so sad. Because she was my best friend. We're not supposed to lose a best friend at such a young age. That's not how it works. I just remember crying myself to sleep. It was so sad. I couldn't sleep that night. It was very sad. I was heartbroken that she was dead. Like, her injuries were so bad that it killed her. That's how bad her freaking injuries were from her ex-best friend beating her to death that she couldn't take it anymore. I have like lots of tissue over there. I just remember going to school. I was in like tech class. I was very silent. I didn't say a thing. But when it was time for my next class, I just remember like I was like walking in the halls, and I had my head down because I was so sad. I didn't want to look at anyone. And I was in music class, and I took out my flute, and I was like playing it. Because I was like, don't cry, don't cry. But I broke down crying. I was just crying. I emotionally broke down in class, and my mom did tell the school. Like, she told all my teachers.
Okay, we're at the 25-minute marker now. Again, all of her reactions here are very, very real, and she really truly did care about Kiyomi. And like I said, I was there a lot on Google Plus, trying to cheer her up and support her and everything. And I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, Lovable Hatsune Miku, 2017 or 18, when somebody finally came forth and told her that the person who she thought was Kiyomi, the whole reason for this video, was actually a catfisher, meaning that she was fake. She did not act, well, there was an actual Kiyomi, but the person pretending to be her, the one who caused all of this, was actually fake. And just right here, you can see how much damage this does to a person. And I am truly and terribly sorry that you had to go through this, Lovable Hatsune Miku. I know life is not easy, just ask me. I've been through a lot of things you've been through in here that you've mentioned in this video personally. So personally, I know the pain you're going through here. But the fact that this person befriended her and, you know, basically made her fall in love with her just so she could say she died and watch this reaction is truly horrible. And I don't know if she actually stayed around, maybe followed her under another account just to see what happens, but for those years until somebody finally told her the truth, this was the worst thing that's happened to her. And it was the cause for so many depressing posts on Google Plus, and so many moments where she was to that breaking point because she thought she had lost her best friend, somebody she truly cares about. And again, this falls back on the fact that when she is your friend and calls you your best friend, that is an honor. So don't abuse it like this person did. And how much she actually truly cares about her friends. But this is where I'm going to end the video, so please subscribe, leave comments. I'll put a link for the full video in the comments below. But again, Lovable Hatsune Miku, I am terribly sorry this happened to you. And you are one of my best friends, and like I said, I've been in your shoes before, so I know what you're going through. But that's all, everybody.